Just Stop Oil will no longer throw soup at paintings as it ends direct action. I'm going to read into this more from Sky News, you guys. Let's go. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is Reganelite here with an article from Sky News with a headline that Just Stop Oil will no longer throw soup at paintings as it ends direct action. The group says it has been one of the most successful civil resilient campaigns in recent history, but uppers to persuading ministers to make ending new oil and gas official policy and keeping 4.4 billion barrels of oil in the ground. It said it is time for a different approach. Guys, while you're here, make sure you hit the like button and share it across social media so others are notified of this video. Guys, I want to just set the record straight because I have spoken about some of the things, the actions that they have done and whatnot, guys, because I think it's really, really important. Context here is that I support I support what they're doing. I support the means to try and stop our reliance on oil, to try and stop us relying on that and to move away from this and push ourselves toward more renewable energies. I believe that we shouldn't be relying on oil, and we know that the likes of oil and gas companies have a hold over political ministers and governments through various means, whether it's think tanks, whether it's just from directing money or gifting donations or whatever. We know that that these oil companies have influence in government. We know that they have that. However, while I do appreciate what Just Stop Oil do, and I do in their campaign to stop as much oil being pumped out of the ground and that as much as possible, some of the actions that they have done have been too far. I was very critical of what they did with Stonehenge at the time. I also was critical of throwing soup at paintings. Because it just felt like to me that they weren't really they weren't really engaging with the issues, and rather just causing vandalism, and that's kind of what it felt like, and I know many people will claim that. Now, obviously, for example, like what they did at Stonehenge was, even though it could be cleaned up, it was still very distasteful, and for me, it was like they were highlighting the campaign, highlighting who they are, but it felt like it wasn't really like what was like how. For me, it was about how are you going to convince people to support your campaign when you are making some actions that are too far. So obviously one of the biggest ones, of course, was when they were blocking the motorways, stopping people from getting to work, which caused huge amounts of anger, huge amounts of frustration among the public, because they felt that their protesting, their marches and their speeches were just not guiding through. So they went further because people were not paying attention to it. So there is a degree of public anger out there at this group in particular, and the way that it's conducted themselves. I don't generally believe that the decisions by the new government to not produce as much oil is based on Just Stop Oil. I don't accept that. I do think there may have been some, but I don't accept that Just Stop Oil is the reason that they are the sole reason, I think is the right word, that there's less oil being produced. Do I think they've played their part? Absolutely. But do I think they're the sole reason? No. There is this premise, not just from them, but scientists, experts, lots of people out there saying how important it is we need to go towards green energy, renewables, all that kind of stuff. And it makes logical sense for us to do so. That pressure has been there. So it's not just them. It's been everyone. Now, obviously, they're saying they're ending direct action. So what are they doing now? Are they still going to be doing protesting? What's going to be the next direction for them? And it's also important to emphasise as well that Sir Keir Starmer and Labour in particular are keeping a fair distance from this organisation because of the way that they've conducted themselves. I will also point out as well that I do not approve in any way, shape or form any of these people being thrown in prison for what they have done. I think it's wrong, and I think it's outrageous that these people have been put in prison for their protests when there are people who have done worse crimes and have not faced any prison time for doing so. Okay, these are people who are protesting. Yes, you can be angry, you can be frustrated about what they are doing, But to literally put them behind bars is ridiculous. For me, the bare minimum should be long-term community work or community service of some sorts. But prison time, absolutely none of these people should be facing that for any of this stuff. I really, really think it's outrageous that protesters have faced jail time. It's really just wrong, guys. It really, really is. Just Stop Oil is to stop throwing soup on paintings and slow marches in the streets as it announces its final protest. In a statement, the environmental campaign group said Just Stop Oil's initial demand to end new oil and gas is now government policy, making us one of the most successful civil resilient campaigns in recent history. We've kept over 4.4 billion barrels of oil in the ground, and the courts have now ruled that new oil and gas licenses are unlawful. So, in the end, on soups on Van Goghs, constrays on Stonehenge, and slow marches on the streets, but this is not the end of trials of tagging, surveillance, or fines, probations, and years in prison. It added, as corporations and billionaires corrupt political systems across the world, we need a different approach, and we are creating a new strategy to face this reality and to carry out responsibilities at this time. Nothing short of a revolution is going to protect us from the coming storms. Yeah, the obviously, I think they should be concerned, obviously, with the fact that the Conservatives may be heading down that path of against net zero. And it may be that they will want to produce oil if they come back into power. If not, then we'll reform, because both those parties are pretty much going against net zero. Well, Kemi Maginot in particular. I'm not sure about the rest of the Conservative Party, but we know where reform stands when it comes to climate. Yeah, some of it like this I did not agree with. This here as well. Like they really were like. I just thought that there were lines were crossed by Just Stop Oil, but I don't agree with prison sentences. The Labour government has said it will not issue licenses for new oil and gas explorations, with a series of recent court cases halting fossil and fuel projects, including oil drilling in a survey in a coal mine in Cumbria, and the Rosebank and Jack fields in the North Sea. Yeah, the coal mine in Cumbria was something that the Conservatives were really trying to keen on pushing. Like I was very much like, no, just stop with the coal mining. But Labour has distanced itself from Just Stop Oil, with the Prime Minister Keir Starmer among its many critics. Just Stop Oil's actions have grabbed headlines along with criticism and jail sentences. Campaigners have glued themselves to roads and attached themselves to infrastructure and oil facilities. They have also disrupted sports and entertainment events and vandalised famous artworks. Among the direct action protests they have carried out in the past for 3 years, their activists have disrupted a West End performance at the Tempest, blocked roads, poured painting on a robot at a Tesla shop, and sprayed orange powder on the Stonehenge. Hundreds of protesters have been arrested at the instances, and some have been handed lengthy prison terms. Yeah, like, here's the thing, guys. Like, the prison, I know some people in the comments saying that they deserve prison time. I fundamentally disagree. Yes, they cross lines when it comes to their protests. 100%. I'm not denying that. But like I said, there are far bigger criminals that we have in the UK who face much lighter sentences than these guys. And be absolutely clear about that. Last week, 9 Just Stop Oil protesters were convicted after police intervened to prevent them from gluing themselves to the runway at Heathrow Airport. 7 of the demonstrators, aged between 26 and 61, were arrested after they were found with glue and angle grinders close to the perimeter fencing at the airport in July 2024. Earlier this month, the group's co-founder Roger Hallam had his 5-year prison sentence reduced by a year after a High Court appeal. Yes, ridiculous. Like, Hallam was jailed last July over a plot to disrupt M25 traffic, which saw 45 people climbing onto gantries over the motorway. He was among a group of 16 activists who challenged jail terms of between 15 months and 5 years for their roles in 4 demonstrations between August and November 2022. Yeah, these kind of sentencing is just absolutely outrageous. It's absolutely outrageous for protesters to be facing that kind of sentencing. You know, it's not like they haven't murdered someone. They've not murdered someone. They've not assaulted someone. They've not there's so many crimes out there. So many crimes that are far worse and actually get less sentencing than protesting. And it's just so bad. And the worst part about this is that This Labour government have not rolled back and given more rights to people for free speech and protest. They haven't rolled back what the Conservatives have done over the last 14 years. And that's very worrying. Like, some people will argue, well, they're going to do it. They're going to do it. It's on their list of things to do. Well, why have we not heard anything about it? Why have they been quiet about it? So, like I said, Just Stop Oil did cross the lines on many things. I'm not denying that. But they should not face prison for their actions. They don't. They should not. But I know some people are going to get raged in the comments saying, but the things they did were outrageous and criminality and whatnot. Yeah, but they didn't assault. Have they assaulted people? Did they do a robbery? Did they attack a policeman? Misogyny, sexual crime. Like, there's so many other criminal crimes out there that get less than this. Guys. That's the truth. Our criminal system is broken. But let me know what you guys think down in the comments section below about Just Stop Oil. Where you think they're going. Do you think their campaign is done? Do you think there's more that they can do? Do you agree with them that we need to stop oil? Obviously, we still have to rely on it right now, but we need to transition away from it. Let me know your thoughts and more down in the comments below. If you found this video informative or helpful in any way to you, please hit that like button, share this across social media, subscribe if you haven't already. Do consider joining the YouTube membership for as little as 99p to financially support me and the work that I do here. And do check out the Rumble and Patreon for exclusive content on those platforms as well. So thank you all so much for watching, and I hope to catch you all very, very soon.